but I keep it real, no time for hating. I'm always on that PC trying to shape my sound. See, I'm just trying to make it. I've got some people I cannot let it down. Aiming for the top of the mountain. Not there yet, but I've left the ground. Oh, I've left the ground. I'm just trying to make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah. Make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah. Oh, I've left the ground. I'm just trying to make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah. Make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah.
say I'm a big dog, I make all my niggas better. I feel like I'm Chris Paul. I serve all the purest cocaine, don't need no fentanyl. He faking this persona for the bitches, call him Rick Ross. While I fuck on your bitch right by the door, I told her get lost. I see cash up in my sleep like Trader Visionary. I keep sticks up on my side, got more than the military. Got up in that pussy, leave it creamy, Ben and Jerry's. Take off like a jet, I'm feeling like I'm Jason Terry. These niggas hate it, but these bitches love the way I'm shining though. I might get 100 years if the police find a dope. Dreaming for my baby mama, cause I found a finer hoe. I done put my bitch.
All right, y'all, we are back up in here, y'all, man. We back up in here. I'm finding a new song today. What we gonna go with? Let's see what we get. Yeah, we gonna go with that. Matter of fact, I don't like that. I'm over here like, yeah, that's it. That is not it. But nah, either way though, welcome back, y'all, to another one, man. Another episode of Let's Talk with Jay vs. Jordan. Also another episode of Jay Talk Sports. Make sure you go over to both and make sure you sub up. We're trying to get it popping around here. We're multitasking. And y'all watching over on Facebook, shout out to y'all too. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, turn the notice on, all that in a bag of chips. I got a question for y'all tonight for the basketball show, y'all. What is the greatest era in NBA history, y'all? What is the greatest era in NBA history? And if you come over on Let's Talk, I got a poll going right now, so I want you to vote on it. Well, we had a YouTuber that actually he has an opinion about it, and I actually don't mind the opinion. Like the opinion's not a bad opinion. And when you really look at it and you really break it down, he makes some good arguments for the era that he's gonna pick. So we're actually gonna go into this video, y'all. Shout out to I think it's Jay-Z Uncut. Shout out to Jay-Z Uncut. I want to give you a shout out today on this one because we're going to react to this a little bit and go through it, man. We'll hear him talk about the era and see what he got. And I'm actually going to drop the link early just in case anybody wants to come argue for their era too, because I know some people, we got some young cats that are old heads lovers. Like, I be tripping, man. I be tripping over that shit. I'm like, damn, you wasn't even born when these motherfuckers were playing and you over here ripping for them hard. Oh, Jordan, you never even got to see that nigga play. Well, I never got to see him play live. You watch highlights, and that's the problem. A lot of people be watching highlights all the time, man. That is not how you need to grade a basketball player. Stop grading people and how good you think they are for highlights. My dog in here barking. I don't know what's wrong with him. He need to go find out what it is. But either way, though, y'all, as usual, get your popcorn, get your weed, get whatever you need. So we about to get it popping and jump into the show. Once again, shout out to Jay-Z Uncut, and let's see what he got for us, y'all. Let's see what we got.
The 2000s. A time when you had to rewind DVDs, your phone flipped instead of scrolled. And what about these things? My fingers still hurt just thinking about them. I'm 27, and people around my age love to talk about the 2000s. Whether it's the music, the fashion, the tech, or the culture, everyone remembers that era fondly. But for some reason, the NBA from that time never gets mentioned in the same breath. It's rarely a part of the nostalgia. And honestly, that doesn't make much sense. So let's break it down. The NBA themselves don't celebrate this decade. It gets overshadowed by the legends of the 90s and drowned out by the numbers that came after. Most people overlook it without ever realizing how much actually happened, or how much the league transformed during that time. But ignoring it means missing one of the most unforgiving stretches the league has ever seen. This was the decade where everything changed, even if nobody wants to talk about it. The stars who built the league were gone, and the ones who would define the next generation were just getting started. The game slowed down, the scores dropped, the league turned defensive, gritty, and unforgiving. It wasn't flashy, it definitely was not marketable, and it wasn't made for the casual fans. They called it the dead ball era. And they say that like it was a bad thing. But the players in this era didn't just play basketball. They fought for every point, every rebound, and every piece of respect. You couldn't hide behind a hot shooting night or launch threes until something fell. You had to earn everything.
Wait, I ain't gonna lie though. You got to tell Kobe that though, because Kobe was jacking a lot of shots during this era too though. Let's be real now.
Contact through chaos, through a game that gave away nothing for free. This isn't the NBA that you see in documentaries, but maybe that's exactly why it matters. Because if you watched it, you knew it was real. And now it's time we tell the story. This is a full NBA recap of the 2000s. Michael Jordan's departure had left an undeniable void. After the previous year's shortened and frustrating lockout season, basketball desperately needed a revival. In response, teams across the league made bold moves. The Los Angeles Lakers, coming off disappointing playoff exits, hired legendary coach Phil Jackson, signaling not just a fresh start, but a shift in culture. Jackson, who's known for managing star personalities, faced a challenge with Shaquille O'Neal, dominant yet ringless, and Kobe Bryant, the brash-driven 21-year-old eager to prove himself. The Lakers aimed not merely for improvement, they sought championships. Meanwhile, on the other side of the country, Indiana understood their championship window was closing. Led by veteran sharpshooter Reggie Miller and head coach Larry Bird, the Pacers, who had endured years of playoff frustration, felt an urgency unlike ever before. Complemented by the leadership of Mark Jackson and the rising talent of Jalen Rose, Indiana was determined to finally break through. Teams like the Portland Trailblazers emerged as formidable threats. Portland quietly assembled one of the deepest rosters in NBA history. With veterans like Scottie Pippen, Rasheed Wallace, Steve Smith, and Arvydas Sabonis, they posed the most...
Hey, and a lot of y'all don't know about Sabonis, bro. You know his son play in the league right now. That dude that was on that Trailblazer team, bro, if he wasn't ruined with injuries and coming into the league late as hell, because he played a lot overseas, bro, the dude was a beast. I'm trying to tell you, go back and check them stats. Go check his gameplay. That motherfucker can play basketball. Pass, shoot, rebound, defend, all that shit.
Serious obstacle to the Lakers' ambitions. But the
Look at him right there.
Disappointments. The Chicago Bulls, once the pinnacle of basketball excellence, descended into absolute turmoil after dismantling their championship squad. Although rookie Elton Brand provided a glimmer of hope, earning co-rookie of the year honors alongside the electrifying Steve Francis of the Houston Rockets, it wasn't enough to stop Chicago's dramatic fall. As the season progressed, Vince Carter transformed Toronto into must-watch basketball. Every night he defied gravity, igniting arenas with spectacular dunks and unbelievable athleticism. His performance at the 2000 Slam Dunk Contest became legendary, redefining basketball spectacle for a new generation.
Oh, it's over! It's over, ladies and gentlemen!
Interesting argument, because I remember it came up a while back. Who was a better basketball player overall, Vince Carter or T-Mac? And I guess if you have to break it down, I'm going to say I'm picking T-Mac, but I guess some people will say T-Mac was better offensively, but Vince Carter did more. I'm picking T-Mac. Who y'all picking?
Yet, the real drama unfolded during the playoffs. Indiana overcame their bitter rival, the New York Knicks, in a heated Eastern Conference Finals, punching their ticket to their first ever NBA Finals and fulfilling a long-awaited promise to their loyal fans. In the West, the Lakers and Blazers collided in an epic 7-game series. Portland seemed destined for victory, holding a commanding 15-point lead in the fourth quarter of Game 7. But the Lakers, buoyed by Shaq's dominance and Kobe's relentless determination, mounted a historic comeback. The defining moment came when Kobe drove into traffic and, well, that single play didn't just clinch the game. It marked the beginning of a dynasty. The NBA Finals saw Indiana's grit pitted against LA's star power. Shaq was unstoppable, dominating the paint on both ends of the floor and capturing the Finals MVP award. Kobe Bryant, despite a severe ankle injury in Game 2, delivered a defining performance in Game 4. After Shaq fouled out in overtime, Kobe calmly took control, hitting critical jumpers, famously signaling to teammates, "I got this." In 6 fiercely contested games, the Lakers secured the NBA title. Shaq's Finals MVP award was a coronation. He averaged one of the craziest stat lines I have ever seen: 38 points and 17 rebounds while shooting 61% from the field, officially cementing his status as the league's most dominant player ever. Earlier in the season, he had all...
Now, for all my Kobe fans that seem to forget what Shaq did, Kobe would not have 3 of them championships if it was not for Shaq. Check them numbers again. Check them damn numbers again, y'all. Check them numbers.
One of the craziest stat lines I have ever seen. 38 points.
38 points. That 16.7 we round up around here, that's 17 rebounds plus 3 blocks. And the dude said he did it on 61% shooting. Like, I understand that people want to put Kobe above a lot of folks and say he the GOAT and all this. Michael Jordan never got carried to no championship. LeBron James never got carried to no championship. Kobe got carried to 3. And I ain't gonna say he didn't play his part. It's just like Kyrie, he played his part with LeBron when they got that one in Cleveland. But the leader, the focal point of that team, the best player, was Shaquille O'Neal. And they need to put some respect on his name, even though Shaq be on that whole shit now. Shaq be on that whole shit, but we ain't gonna lie about history. So for all my Kobe fans, I know, man, R.I.P. Stop lying on that man's name to make him greater than what the fuck he was. Kobe was a great basketball player. You don't have to lie on his career. You ain't gotta lie on it. Just acknowledge what happened.
Points and 17 rebounds while shooting 61% from the
61,
field,
y'all.
Cementing his status as the league's most dominant player ever. Earlier in the season, he had also claimed the league MVP, making this year undeniably his own. While Shaq earned praise on offense, the defensive side belonged to Miami Heat's Alonzo Mourning, who won Defensive Player of the Year. Mourning anchored Miami's tough physical play, embodying the defensive-minded nature of this era. For Indiana, despite heartbreak, Jalen Rose's remarkable improvement did not go unnoticed, earning him Most Improved Player honors. But the lingering image remained. Reggie Miller, once again denied, walking off the court in disappointment. His legacy secure, but still incomplete without that championship ring. This season signified more than just basketball. It was a year of passing torches, heroes emerging, and teams rising from despair to glory. The Lakers laid the foundation for greatness. Indiana demonstrated resilience, and players like Vince Carter and Kobe Bryant announced their stardom loudly and clearly. As Shaq lifted that championship trophy, it marked not just the end of a season, but the birth of a thrilling new chapter in NBA history. One defined by fierce rivalries, unforgettable moments, and legends stepping fully into their greatness. As the 2000-2001 season began, the NBA found itself entering new territory. The offseason had seen significant shifts, narratives had changed, expectations had grown, and the drama was building. Orlando had made headlines by bringing in Trace McGrady and Grant Hill, a bold attempt to craft a new super team in the East. But what started as optimism quickly turned into frustration. Grant Hill's continued ankle injuries would plague him severely, leaving McGrady, a young star fresh from Toronto, to lead alone. While fans expected greatness, the Magic ended up battling mediocrity, learning the painful lesson that star power means little if health can't sustain it. Meanwhile, Patrick Ewing, the iconic center who had defined the New York Knicks for nearly 15 years, was dealt to Seattle. It wasn't just a trade. It was symbolic, marking the definitive end to an era. Now older and limited by injuries, Ewing was clearly in the twilight of his career. But his departure from New York still felt surreal, leaving Knicks fans with uncertainty and nostalgia. The 2000 draft was widely viewed as weak, yet Mike Miller quietly impressed in Orlando, showing promise and earning Rookie of the Year honors. Still, compared to previous drafts, the NBA saw fewer immediate franchise-altering talents emerge, keeping the focus on established stars and teams. As the regular season unfolded, one team emerged to challenge the Lakers' dominance: the Philadelphia 76ers, led led by Allen Iverson. Iverson wasn't just scoring, he was a cultural phenomenon, embodying grit and determination on every possession. With Coach Larry Brown instilling defensive intensity and newly acquired Dikembe Mutombo anchoring the paint, Philadelphia soon became the gritty embodiment of a blue-collar city desperate for victory. In the West, while the Lakers started strong, underlying tension between Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal resurfaced frequently.
But the differences between Kobe and Shaq always simmered beneath the surface. And this week, the feud boiled over.
Reports of clashes.
How many of y'all remember Ahmad Rashad, bro? How many of y'all remember Ahmad Rashad, bro? See, I know that you young cats don't remember that boy, man. We used to watch Ahmad Rashad interviewing all the basketball players going around to all the teams, bro. Like, his show was the show to watch during the 2000s, early 2000s, bro. A lot of you young folks don't even know who that man was. That man was that. He was the dude. He was the dude when it came to the reporter side of basketball, NBA basketball coverage. That motherfucker, man, damn, I miss watching that shit, bro. So they don't even, now we got his first take with Stephen A. Smith just yelling all the goddamn time. Nobody want to hear that shit. We want to talk to the players, and the players don't even want to talk to y'all no more because y'all shitty ass reporters. Ahmad Rashad had it good back in the day, bro. They was really building the league. They were really building the league a lot more than what it was coming out of the 90s, thanks to people like him doing the shows that they did and players actually being more willing to talk to the media. But, man, a lot of these young cats don't even know who that dude is. They just some random dude they put on screen.
The practice and post-game disputes added intrigue and drama to their quest for another title. The Lakers' biggest threat appeared to be themselves. But Los Angeles wasn't the only story out west. The Sacramento Kings began making moves.
Yeah, they almost lost to the Kings.
Silky smooth offense and Jason Williams' flashy passing, Sacramento emerged as a legitimate contender, quickly becoming fan favorites and hinting at greatness to come. Played Portland once again. Despite their talent-heavy roster, the Jailblazers struggled with locker room turmoil. Rasheed Wallace's fiery temperament repeatedly boiled over into technical fouls, ejections, and suspensions. Scottie Pippen, nearing the end of his legendary career, struggled to unify a fractured roster. After the previous season's near miss, fans expected redemption. Instead, Portland fell short of expectations, leaving their future uncertain. As All-Star Weekend arrived, the league turned its attention to Allen Iverson once more. The Eastern Conference, trailing big, made an electrifying comeback behind Iverson's relentless hustle and clutch shots. His performance earned him the All-Star Game MVP. It was Iverson sending a message to the league about his readiness to lead on the big stage. The playoffs became a stage of intense competition.
They F that commissioner right there. AI couldn't stand his ass either. David Stern was a terrible NBA commissioner when it came to player relations. Now, building the league, he did a good job with that one. But when it came to player relations, he was a terrible commissioner. But he was good for business.
Readiness to lead on the big stage. The playoffs became a stage of intense competition and memorable storylines. The Lakers, finally overcoming their regular season struggles, stormed through the Western Conference playoffs, sweeping every series against Portland, Sacramento, and yeah, even Tim Duncan's Spurs. Their dominance was impressive. Shaq seemed unstoppable, and Kobe displayed relentless poise and clutch moments. The tension between the two stars faded into the background as winning took priority. The Eastern Conference playoffs were a stark contrast, filled with intensity, drama, and close-fought battles. Iverson's 76ers faced numerous challenges, and each series became more grueling than the last. After dispatching Reggie Miller's Pacers, Philly encountered Vince Carter's Toronto Raptors in one of the most thrilling playoff battles of all time. Carter and Iverson traded spectacular scoring performances game after game. It culminated in a legendary Game 7 in Philadelphia, decided only by Carter's final buzzer-beating shot that rimmed out. Waiting next were Ray Allen and the Milwaukee Bucks, a talented, underrated team that pushed Iverson's Sixers to the limit.
Jesus Shuttleworth, that's that Ray Allen I used to love. And man, look, that's Jesus Shuttleworth team right there. But for y'all that know, y'all know. For y'all that know, you know. But yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. For y'all that know, y'all know.
Yet again, controversial calls, intense physical play, and Iverson's unwavering resolve characterized the series, eventually won by Philadelphia in just 7 games. The Sixers emerged exhausted, but determined. Iverson had elevated his legend yet again, ready to face the Lakers. The 2001 NBA Finals pitted the star-studded Lakers, seemingly unbeatable, against the battle-weary yet defiant Sixers. Game 1 became one of the most iconic playoff performances in history, and I don't say that lightly. Allen Iverson poured in 48 unforgettable points. The Sixers' stunning victory provided hope, but reality quickly set in. The Lakers regrouped swiftly.
Yeah, they swept the shit out of them after that. They swept them after that. I'm just going here and ruin it for y'all that don't know.
Shaq dominated the paint against Mutombo's defensive prowess, and Kobe delivered timely baskets. Los Angeles won the next 4 games, claiming their second straight championship. Shaq once again earned the Finals MVP, averaging 33 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 blocks. Right?
Kobe fans, again, Shaq MVP. Shaq, MVP, not Kobe. And I ain't trying to beat down on Kobe because I respect this game. I didn't like him when he played because he was a ball hog. But I respect this game. And people always age better with time, but stop disrespecting motherfuckers, man.
Iverson, the finals ended in disappointment, but also pride. He captured the MVP award earlier in the season, not merely because of his scoring, but because of his relentless spirit and ability to inspire an entire city. Dikembe Mutombo was named Defensive Player of the Year for anchoring Philly's rugged defense. Also, Iverson's teammate Aaron McKee won Sixth Man of the Year, while Tracy McGrady's breakout season in Orlando earned him the Most Improved Player honors. As the Lakers celebrated the repeat championship, the season's lasting legacy went far beyond titles. Iverson had transformed into an enduring icon. Sacramento had proven their readiness for future battles. Portland had learned that talent alone just wasn't enough, and Orlando realized potential doesn't guarantee success.
And we're gonna get another one next year.
Quick side note, if you guys are enjoying the video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It would really help me reach
Yeah,
my
go
goal
check
of
that boy
10,000.
out, man. He put
Also,
together
follow
a
my
good
Twitch
video,
live stream
man.
Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern. That, as well as my Discord server, is linked down below.
All right, we're skipping all that. All right.
Becoming tantalizingly close to the finals the previous season, Ray Allen, Glenn Robinson, and Sam Cassell were talented but frustrated. Rumors swirled about internal conflicts, defensive lapses, and questionable team chemistry. The Bucks' regression puzzled fans and analysts alike, reinforcing how quickly championship windows can slam shut. The Washington Wizards captivated headlines differently. Michael Jordan emerged from retirement yet again, trading his executive office for one final run on the hardwood. Fans packed arenas nationwide, hoping to catch a glimpse of MJ's fate.
Everybody that, once again, lying on people's legacy, we not gonna sit here and forget that Michael Jordan played in the 2000s. We not gonna forget that. We are not gonna forget this, y'all. The man came back to play. Remember that. He came back to play. So all them people that want to talk about all these stats, 6-0 and all that, that was just 6 years of greatness. After that, it was back to normal, not winning a motherfucking thing. Like, I'm just being honest with you, y'all. I'm not trying to be mean, but not winning another motherfucking thing. At least Bill Russell did the shit for a whole damn decade. That boy got 11. God damn, y'all did 6 years, and y'all like, he's the GOAT. It's like, come on now. Ain't trying to hear that shit. And see, Miss Lena said the 90s. All right, I hope you voted on that, Lena. I hope you voted and put your vote in there. We got 5 votes right now. It looks like the 2000s are winning, though. 2000s got 80%. 90s got 20. So obviously, only one person, Lena, you're the only person that voted for the 90s. Everybody else said the 2000s. But we gonna see.
Greatness. Though older and diminished physically, Jordan still showcased occasional brilliance, reminding the basketball world of his unmatched competitive fire. Amid these shifting dynamics, the 2001 NBA draft introduced future superstars. Kwame Brown was controversially selected first by Washington, though his early struggles quickly overshadowed his potential. Pau Gasol quietly began building his legacy in Memphis, earning Rookie of the Year honors with polished post play and versatility. Tony Parker's arrival in San Antonio went largely unnoticed initially, but the Spurs had uncovered a gem. His speed and skill promised a bright future alongside Timmy D. Throughout the regular season, the Lakers encountered unexpected turbulence. Shaq battled minor injuries, while Kobe saw a more prominent role. Friction became public, sparking rumors about the team's stability. Yet, when it mattered the most, they showed their resilience, securing a strong playoff position. Kobe elevated his game nightly, determined to establish himself not just as Shaq's teammate, but as his equal. As All-Star Weekend arrived in Philadelphia, hometown hero Allen Iverson enjoyed a memorable weekend despite a quieter regular season. But the star of the weekend was Kobe Bryant, returning to his hometown amid mixed cheers and boos. Kobe's All-Star Game MVP performance served as a powerful reminder. He was no longer just a rising talent, but a superstar in his own right, ready to define his own legacy. The playoffs arrived with unprecedented anticipation. Jason Kidd led New Jersey's Cinderella run through the postseason, sweeping aside teams that had overlooked them for years. Kidd's leadership transformed the Nets' identity. They defeated Indiana and Charlotte convincingly, setting up a conference final showdown with a resurgent Boston Celtics, spearheaded by Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker. The Nets ended up surviving a thrilling 6-game battle, punching their ticket to the finals for the first time in their franchise history. But the story everyone was really focused on was unfolding in the West. The Lakers cruised through early rounds, but waiting for them in the conference finals was their greatest test yet. Sacramento. Chris Webber, Mike Bibby, and Peja Stojakovic had turned Sacramento into basketball's most potent offense.
Well, them Kings teams, y'all, man. Look, for y'all that remember and watch this, man, them Kings teams, it would not have been, like, now you know that the Lakers won 3 straight, but it would not have been crazy if somebody put their money on Sacramento. Because Sacramento, whoever won this matchup was going to win the NBA Finals every time they matched up against each other. Just being honest with you ahead of time, Sacramento Kings were not a team to play with. Bibby and Webber, bro, I think Stojakovic on that team.
The Kings, desperate for revenge, had captured the league's best record and top seed, and now they had the chance to finally dethrone the reigning champs. The series instantly became an all-time classic, filled with controversy, intensity, and unforgettable moments. After trading victories, Game 4 reached a dramatic...
Hey, hold on, man. I know y'all seen that pass right there, y'all. I know y'all saw that pass in transition, bro. That was a nasty ass pass. I know a lot of people probably didn't even pay attention to it, bro. That was a nasty ass pass.
Postseason, sweeping aside
Look at that pass.
overlooked them for years. Kids' leadership transformed the Nets' identity. They defeated Indiana and Charlotte convincingly, setting up a conference final showdown with a resurgent Boston Celtics, spearheaded by Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker. The Nets ended up surviving a thrilling 16.
Yeah, I gotta get to this pass. Yeah, I gotta see that shit again, bro. That was a nasty ass pass.
Really focused on was unfolding in the West. The Lakers cruised through early rounds, but waiting for them in the conference finals was their greatest test yet. Sacramento. Chris Webber, Mike Bibby, and Peja Stojakovic had turned Sacramento into basketball's most...
Yeah, they better show their pass. Watch the pass on the next play. Watch the next pass.
Record and top seed, and now they had the chance to
not this one, not this one.
reigning champs.
This one right here, y'all.
Became an all-time classic.
Look at the pass right here, y'all.
And unforgettable moments. After trading victories, Game 4 reached a dramatic...
Come on, man. That right there is man, bro. That's a hell of a pass, bro.
Climax. With seconds left and the Lakers trailing by 2, Robert Horry etched himself deeper into the NBA lore.
Saved him. Now, how many people sit around here and say that Robert Horry saved Kobe's career, saves Shaq's career? Nah, they only saved that insult for LeBron James. Ray Allen saved your career, man. You on the court, you supposed to be able to make shots. That ball, they was about to lose, y'all. They was about to lose that series, y'all. The Kings were about to go to the finals, and that ball got tipped out, and Robert Horry saved their ass.
Lakers trailing by 2, Robert Horry etched himself deeper into the NBA lore. Sacramento rallied again, claiming Game 5, but Game 6 became infamous, marred by controversial officiating decisions that heavily favored Los Angeles. With tension peaking, Game 7 proved equally unforgettable. Overtime drama, missed free throws, and clutch plays defined every possession. Ultimately, the Lakers escaped with victory, securing their finals appearance and leaving Sacramento heartbroken and bitterly disappointed. In the finals, New Jersey stood as heavy underdogs against the Los Angeles Lakers dynasty. Kids' relentless energy and leadership gave the Nets belief, but they were ultimately overwhelmed by Shaq's dominance inside and Kobe's ruthless efficiency. The Lakers swept the series comfortably, capturing their 3rd consecutive championship. Shaq claimed his 3rd straight finals MVP, solidifying his legendary status.
Last time, 3 straight final MVPs. Shaquille O'Neal. Stop disrespecting that man's career. I know you want to hype up Kobe, but stop disrespecting it.
However, Tim Duncan quietly earned league MVP honors after a stellar regular season with San Antonio. His excellence was overshadowed by playoff disappointments, but he remained basketball's model of consistency. Detroit's Ben Wallace captured Defensive Player of the Year, embodying the Pistons' emerging toughness and defensive identity. Also, Jermaine O'Neal is finally blossoming in Indiana. He won the Most Improved Player award, signaling his arrival as a genuine star. As confetti fell once more in Los Angeles, the NBA knew it had witnessed something special. This was the last time an NBA franchise won 3 straight titles. Who knows if this stat will ever happen again? Cage, I believe in you, man.
Cat.
Number 3.
As the NBA prepared for the 2002-2003 season, the league stood on shifting sands. The Lakers had dominated basketball, capturing 3 consecutive championships. Their dynasty seemed poised to continue indefinitely. But beneath the surface, as I mentioned before, Shaq and Kobe's relationship was strained, injuries began taking their toll, and their rivals' sense of vulnerability. Teams across the league aggressively retooled. Sacramento, still haunted by their bitter playoff defeat, fortified their roster by re-signing Mike Bibby, while the Dallas Mavericks made a statement by trading for talented scorer Nick Van Exel to bolster their explosive offense led by Dirk Nowitzki and Steve Nash. But the boldest offseason move came from San Antonio. They committed fully to their young guard Tony Parker, entrusting him to support Tim Duncan. Undisputed hey Tony,
I like the things you do.
Eastern Conference, still lacking a clear leader, saw significant shakeups. Detroit embodying toughness and defensive grit, added veteran guard Chauncey.
That Piston team right there, bro. That Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Chauncey Billups, Tayshaun Prince, bruh. That was a squad right there. That was that squad right there. And they took down. Y'all gonna see who they took down. Y'all gonna see who they took down in a second.
Billups to pair with Ben Wallace and Rip Hamilton. The Pistons were
my man. Shout out to Rip too.
Grinding out wins. Meanwhile, Boston struggled to maintain their momentum from the previous year, losing key defensive presence Rodney Rogers. Crazy.
Because Paul Pierce sucks. That's why. Hey man, look, I ain't like Paul Pierce, bro. And still to this day, don't really like him. But he did a good interview the other day with that Cheyenne Bryant chick. But outside of that, nah. Don't really like that dude. Never liked him.
Questions about their long-term plans surrounding Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker. The league itself underwent some critical changes and aimed at enhancing offensive play and pace. Notably, the NBA officially eliminated illegal defensive rules. They fully adopted the zone defense strategies. This fundamental shift meant that offenses could no longer rely solely on ISO plays. The game became strategically more complex and tactically engaging, marking the start of a new era in basketball philosophy. The 2002 NBA draft introduced electrifying talents who could reshape the league. Yao Ming arrived in Houston amid enormous hype, becoming not just a rookie sensation, but a global ambassador for basketball.
Same year that Jay Williams got drafted coming out of and then messed up his whole NBA career on that damn motorcycle. I thought that boy was going to be the Derrick Rose for Derrick Rose, even though he ain't jump and get bunnies like that. Like he wasn't booming that thing like that. But that boy, he was a problem to guard. He was a problem to guard and then fucked it all up on a motorcycle. Stay off them bikes, y'all. Stay off them bikes.
Basketball. His graceful, versatile play quickly silenced skeptics who questioned if he could handle the NBA physicality. Phoenix unearthed a gem late in the first round by drafting Amari Stoudemire. His explosive athleticism and raw power electrified fans, injecting energy into a franchise that's hungry for success. And of course, Michael Jordan has entered his second year of his comeback with the Wizards. He continued drawing massive crowds, with every game feeling like a farewell tour. Still though, Washington's struggles lingered. Even Jordan's determination couldn't lift the franchise from mediocrity. The regular season saw the Lakers stumble out of the gate. Injuries limited Shaq's impact very early on, placing greater responsibility on Kobe's shoulders. While Bryant thrived individually, tensions rose within the team, and the Lakers struggled to maintain any sort of consistency. Suddenly, the Western Conference appeared wide open for the first time in a long time, and Dallas took advantage, showcasing offensive firepower that thrilled fans nightly. Yet, questions remained about their defensive ability, a weakness often exploited by more balanced teams like Sacramento and San Antonio, both quietly positioning themselves as the true threats in the West. In the East, the New Jersey Nets continued building on Jason Kidd's arrival, but struggled initially with their new expectations as reigning conference champs. Detroit's relentless defensive identity, led by Ben Wallace, became increasingly feared. They quickly established themselves as legitimate contenders, challenging the Nets' supremacy. Meanwhile, the 76ers found themselves at a crossroads. Iverson battled injuries and disagreements with coach Larry Brown, creating an uncertainty about the direction after the recent finals appearance. All-Star Weekend became a global showcase, with Yao Ming's presence drawing international attention. Kobe Bryant dominated again, securing yet another All-Star Game MVP. As the playoffs began, it became evident that the landscape had dramatically shifted. The Lakers, still formidable, faced an uphill battle. Minnesota, led by Kevin Garnett, proved tougher than ever. Yet LA survived the first round, setting up a highly anticipated rematch against San Antonio. Tim Duncan was determined and at the peak of his powers. The Spurs defeated the Lakers convincingly, ending the dynasty's 3-year reign in dramatic fashion and leaving questions about Los Angeles' future. The Western Conference Finals pitted San Antonio against Dallas. The Mavericks, despite their potent offense, simply could not contain Tim Duncan, who showcased his unstoppable blend of patience, skill, and determination. San Antonio triumphed decisively, sending David Robinson to the finals for one last championship attempt before retirement. In the East, Detroit and New Jersey clashed in a fiercely contested conference final series. Each game was physical and gritty. Ultimately, though, Jason Kidd's leadership and clutch performance proved decisive. The Nets won in a hard-fought sweep, setting up a finals clash against the San Antonio Spurs. The NBA Finals was a defensive battle from the start, defined by discipline.
Y'all already know the Nets ain't won a goddamn thing, so y'all know what's about to happen. This is where the Spurs start they start defining themselves as the new team. It was the Lakers for a little while, and the Spurs about to start defining themselves in this series right here.
Discipline and execution rather than just highlight plays. Duncan's consistency was by far the difference. Dominated on both ends of the court, he dismantled New Jersey's defense night after night.
Tim Duncan, and he's Duncan.
Game 6 became an iconic farewell performance for David Robinson. As Duncan led the Spurs to victory, the Admiral provided crucial contributions, ending his legendary career as an NBA champion. Tim Duncan secured the Finals MVP award, complementing his regular season MVP, a rare achievement highlighting his absolute brilliance. Detroit's Ben Wallace repeated as Defensive Player of the Year, solidifying his status as one of the league's premier defenders. Amari Stoudemire's impressive rookie campaign earned him Rookie of the Year, and Gilbert Arenas, who was blossoming with the Golden State Warriors, earned the Most Improved Player award, showcasing explosive scoring ability. This season represented a seismic shift. It wasn't merely the end of the Lakers dynasty, but the dawn of a new era defined by strategy, defensive innovation, and emerging stars who would lead the league forward. The Spurs' triumph felt symbolic, highlighting fundamental teamwork and discipline, while Duncan quietly solidified his legacy as one of basketball's greatest champions. As David Robinson walked off the court for the final time, championship trophy in hand, the NBA was reminded why it captivates fans: the drama, unpredictability, triumph, and heartache that unfolds each year. As the 2003-2004 NBA season dawned, the league was preparing for a huge change. Let's start in Los Angeles. They were desperate to regain their championship throne. Already boasting Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal, they stunned the NBA by signing legendary veterans like Karl Malone and Gary Payton, creating what appeared.
Hold up now. Wait. Because I remember they said that LeBron James, this is another knock on LeBron, he was the first to create a super team. This ain't even the first super team created, but this was a super team. If all the people to say that Gary Payton was old, Karl Malone was old, I want y'all to see how far they went.
To be an unbeatable lineup. On paper, the Lakers seem poised not to just reclaim their lost dominance, but to do so in historic fashion. The basketball world anticipated their coronation long before the season even started. In Minnesota, Kevin Garnett finally received significant help as the Timberwolves added veterans like Latrell Sprewell and Sam Cassell, signaling genuine championship aspirations. Dallas aggressively reshaped the roster, acquiring Anton Walker and Anton Jamison, believing a bold new identity might finally carry them to the top. But the most impactful offseason quietly occurred in Detroit. The Pistons, already a team known for toughness and defense, hired legendary coach Larry Brown, whose reputation promised to transform Detroit into a legitimate force. Detroit had traded talented scorer Jerry Stackhouse to Washington for the underrated Rip Hamilton, a gamble heavily criticized at the time, but one that ultimately reshaped their entire identity. Mid-season, in a bold move that further solidified their defensive toughness and versatile playmaking, Detroit acquired Rasheed Wallace from Portland. Wallace's fiery personality was considered risky, but the Pistons believed he was a missing piece of their championship. All this is happening, the Spurs and Kings out west appeared overshadowed. The media crowned the Lakers champions in preseason coverage, overall dismissing other teams as merely challengers to their presumed greatness. And through all of this, would you believe we haven't talked about the draft yet?
With the first pick in the 2003
LeBron James.
The Cleveland Cavaliers select LeBron James.
The NBA witnessed the arrival of one of its most anticipated rookie classes ever. LeBron James joined his hometown Cleveland Cavaliers amid immense hype, quickly showing he was worth every bit of attention. Carmelo Anthony energized the Denver Nuggets, returning them to relevance instantly. And Dwayne Wade brought hope and excitement to Miami. It wasn't just talent, it was a changing of the guard as these young stars began reshaping the league's future. Oh, right, and the Pistons? Well, they drafted Darko Milicic with the number 2 pick. I don't want to talk about it. Throughout the regular season, Detroit quietly built momentum. They weren't flashy. Their victories rarely made the headlines, their roster lacking superstars to capture mainstream imagination. Instead, their strength lay in unity, discipline, and relentless defensive pressure. Chauncey Billups, a journeyman guard, emerged as a clutch leader, earning the nickname Big Shot Billups. Ben Wallace, a defensive powerhouse, anchored their interior. Rip Hamilton's tireless energy wore down the opponents nightly. Rasheed Wallace...
Hey, also for Ben Wallace, he was you can give him the AKA, the guy that Ron Artest ain't never want to try. Never the AKA, the guy that Ron Artest never wanted to try, y'all.
Provided toughness, timely offense, and emotional leadership. Together, these cast-offs formed an unlikely yet cohesive unit under Brown's disciplined guidance. Yet, despite their impressive record, Detroit was continuously overlooked, overshadowed by brighter stars and bigger stories elsewhere. The Lakers predictably dominated the headlines, but their season wasn't that smooth. Kobe Bryant dealt with off-court controversies, Shaq battled injuries, and the aging Payton and Malone struggled to fit into Coach Phil Jackson's intricate system. Still, though, they finished strongly, securing a playoff spot. Most analysts dismissed their struggles as temporary, certain that they dominate when the games mattered most. In the West playoffs, LA faced difficult tests from the younger and hungrier teams. First, the Rockets, then the Spurs, and finally, Kevin Garnett's Timberwolves in an intense conference Rockets. Each series took its toll, but the Lakers' experience ultimately prevailed, fulfilling their predicted destiny of reaching the NBA Finals. The East playoffs belonged to none other than Detroit. Every series enforced their underdog status. Victories came through physical battles and defensive intensity rather than high scores or flashy highlights. They faced a formidable Indiana Pacers team in the conference finals, led by a young Jermaine O'Neal and fiery Ron Artest. The series was brutal and physical, but Detroit's relentless defense and timely offense carried them through in 6 hard-fought games, earning them a place in the finals. In 4 of the 6 games, neither team scored 80 points. In 3 of them, Detroit held Indiana under 70 total points. This series was ultimately capped off from arguably the greatest block in NBA history.
Reggie Miller! And it's blocked again!
And then came the 2004 NBA Finals matchup, Detroit Pistons against the heavily favored Los Angeles Lakers. Media coverage overwhelmingly favored LA, labeling Detroit as possibly the weakest finals.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I ain't gonna lie to y'all at all right now on this one. That series bought me my first pair of Jordans. Because ain't nobody want to take the Pistons, y'all. And I was definitely rooting against the Lakers. I was rooting against. I said, man, they cheating, bro, because the whole year, like he said in this video, I remember that year vividly. That whole year, they had just already said the season should be over with. The Lakers are going to win. Talk it up to the game. If all the people that said Karl Malone and Gary Payton came over there late, they in the NBA Finals going up against Detroit Pistons, a team that they said was just, you know, the worst team to ever make it to the NBA Finals. Watch what's about to happen. This series right here got me my first pair of Jordans. I think I was in the, I don't know, where was I in the cert? No, I think I was about to get out of high school.
Participant in recent memory.
We've been underestimating us all year. So it ain't nothing that we ain't used to. So,
tell them, boy. Tell them, real. Tell him, Rip.
Even the most optimistic Pistons fans doubted their chances. Conventional wisdom declared Detroit had no realistic shot against such overwhelming talent. But
Hey, look, because they thought Shaq was just going to dominate Ben Wallace down there in that paint. People don't understand, Ben Wallace probably one of the strongest men to ever play in the NBA. Shaq was strong. Ben Wallace was stronger than him. Watch how this shit played out.
inside Detroit's locker room, belief simmered quietly. Coach Larry Brown instilled an underdog mentality, reminding his players nightly that they'd been doubted their entire careers. Each had a personal story of rejection, struggle, or disappointment. They had no superstars. They had no egos. Just grit, heart, and an unshakable belief in themselves and each other. Game 1 sent shockwaves across the basketball world. Detroit's relentless defense stifled the Lakers' star power. They didn't just win, they utterly dominated. Analysts called it a fluke. Certain LA would wake up, but as the series continued, the Pistons only grew stronger. Chauncey Billups calmly controlled the pace, hitting crucial shots. Rip Hamilton's constant movement exhausted the Lakers' older defenders. Ben Wallace frustrated Shaq with his defensive brilliance, all while Rasheed Wallace provided timely offense and fiery leadership. With every game, the impossible became more real. Detroit's defensive execution was flawless, dismantling the Lakers' supposedly unbeatable offense. By Game 5, the Lakers appeared broken, stunned by Detroit's discipline, tenacity, and unity. Incredibly, the Pistons completed one of the most shocking finals victories in NBA history, winning the series convincingly, not through luck, but undeniable superiority. Chauncey Billups earned Finals MVP, an acknowledgement of his steady leadership and clutch performances. Kevin Garnett, despite falling short in the playoffs, earned regular season MVP, recognition for his relentless effort carrying Minnesota. And of course, LeBron James earned Rookie of the Year honors. And Zach Randolph's breakout season with Portland secured him the Most Improved Player recognition. The Pistons' improbable victory symbolized the essence of basketball's heart: teamwork, resilience, and the timeless underdog spirit. Their championship wasn't just a triumph. It redefined expectations, proving that titles weren't always won by superstars or super teams, but sometimes
It proved that was something that we needed, bro. During that time, y'all, during those years, bro, that was something that we needed. We needed the Pistons win. It would not have been right. It would not have sat right if the Lakers would have won that, was stacking that team. A lot of people were against the Lakers during that year. At least down here in the South where I'm from. Because we got people down here that root for a lot of different teams. Because we ain't got no professional team. But during that time, a lot of folks I knew were against the Lakers winning. Now, we knew people that went around my area that was rooting for them all day, like they were Lakers fans. They were over here buying Lakers shit like they been to LA, ain't never touched ground in LA. But we needed the Pistons to win that series, y'all. And they did it in dominant fashion. The only problem is they didn't repeat the next year. I wish they would have, man. It was that one-hit wonder, but it was a better one-hit wonder than that Boston one they're going to talk about in a second.
Times by sheer belief, toughness, and an unbreakable unity. This season became immortalized as the year of the greatest underdogs. A team no one believed in achieving something few thought possible. They inspired every overlooked player, every doubted team, and every fan who'd ever dared to dream against the odds. Sorry. Can you tell I'm a Pistons fan? This was actually the season where I became in love with the sport and my Pistons super fandom began. Entering the 2004-2005 NBA season, everything felt wide open. The Detroit Pistons had shaken the basketball world the previous year by upsetting the Lakers. However, despite their incredible victory,
y'all see that? They beat their ass in 5 games. 4-1, baby. 4-1. Shaq and Kobe, Gary Payton, Karl Malone. Super team. They beat their ass in 5 games, y'all.
few were convinced that Detroit could repeat. Analysts and fans alike expect the normalcy to return, believing superstar-driven teams will reclaim the spotlight. In Los Angeles, some big changes had reshaped the Lakers entirely. Phil Jackson stepped down as head coach, citing exhaustion from internal turmoil. Shaquille O'Neal was shockingly traded to the Miami Heat, effectively dismantling their dynasty. Kobe Bryant remained, finally becoming the Lakers' undisputed centerpiece, though uncertainty surrounded whether he could actually single-handedly lead a franchise to greatness. Miami's acquisition of Shaq immediately elevated them to championship contenders. Pairing Shaq with the rising star Dwayne Wade created an electrifying duo.
About to get to my Miami days, my 305 days. This is when hey, look, Wade was my dude. I picked Wade as my best. I thought he was going to be the best player coming out of that draft with him, Carmelo, and LeBron. So people can put it on my head right now. He was my favorite player. I watched what he did at Marquette. I love that Shaq trade. So I was like, bet, we about to get one. And lo and behold,
excitement surged through Miami as the Heat positioned themselves to challenge Detroit's supremacy. O'Neal, motivated by critics claiming that he was aging and declining, arrived in South Beach intent on proving them wrong. Meanwhile, out in Minnesota, fresh off Kevin Garnett's MVP season, they unfortunately struggled to maintain momentum. Internal issues and aging role players cast doubts on their ability to stay competitive. Sacramento, so close in previous years, finally began facing the harsh reality that their championship window might be closing, especially as Chris Webber's injuries took their toll. The Phoenix Suns emerged as the year's most surprising and thrilling story. They signed Steve Nash away from Dallas, a move widely questioned as many believe Nash's best years were behind him. Instead, Nash immediately transformed Phoenix into an offensive juggernaut. Alongside Amari Stoudemire's explosive athleticism and Sean Marion's versatility, the Suns became the NBA's most exciting, fast-paced team, igniting fans nightly with dazzling, untempo basketball. There were also some important rule changes enhancing offensive play even further. The NBA implemented stricter enforcement on hand-checking violations, freeing guards like Nash, Wade, and Allen Iverson to attack defenses and renewed aggression. Scoring rose dramatically, fundamentally changing the league style. Faster, freer basketball captivated fans. This marked a pivotal turning point.
My boy T-Mac. My boy T-Mac.
Drama unfolded everywhere. Indiana entered the year as strong contenders, but the championship dreams unraveled in a shocking early season incident. The malice at the Palace became the most infamous brawl in NBA history.
Yeah. Who remember watching this game? I was watching that game live, y'all. I was watching that game live. I could not wait to go to school and talk about that shit the next day, bro. I was like, y'all see that shit? Y'all see that shit? Hey, look, Ron Artest, I'm telling you again, Ben Wallace's nickname, a.k.a. the guy who Ron Artest didn't want to mess with. Ron Artest was like a bully in the league, y'all. He was like a bully. He would mess with everybody. He'd tangle up with folks. He'd get out there and fake fight with everybody. Ben Wallace, the one man that he did not want no problems with, y'all. He did not want no problems. And I remember sitting up watching that game that night. What is it, y'all? I know he ain't going to show the whole thing, but he should show the whole thing. That was probably one of the most memorable moments in the 2000s, y'all. Check this shit out.
Changing the league style. Faster, freer basketball captivated fans. This marked a pivotal turning point for the NBA's future.
Show on that shit.
Season,
and shout out to my boy T-Mac.
Indiana entered the year as strong contenders, but the championship dreams unraveled in a shocking early season incident. The malice at the Palace.
Get your ass back, boy.
Brawl in
Hold on. Ryan didn't want
suspended for the rest of the season.
Ryan decided to go. Ryan decided to go fight people in the stands instead of fight Ben Wallace. Ron said, I ain't fighting that dude, bro, but you threw that water bottle at me. I come get you, though. Finna mush you all in your face, bro. He mushed that man in their face and sent him back like 7 feet. He ain't want no problem with that, but somebody threw a water bottle from the top in the stands. Oh, he wanted all that. Him and Steven Jackson. Steven Jackson he wanted them crash out buddies. It's good to have him on your team, but it's also a problem to have him on your team, too.
Steven Jackson got 30 games. Jermaine O'Neal, 25. The Pacers' core was gutted overnight, and with it, their championship hopes collapsed. Indiana, once viewed as a top-tier contender, was suddenly scrambling to stay afloat. Artest's absence left a massive void on both ends of the floor. Once O'Neal returned, he battled through injuries. Steven Jackson tried to keep the team steady, but the chemistry had already been fractured. Reggie Miller, in what would become his final NBA season, watched his last shot at a title slip away. They managed to make the playoffs, but they weren't the same. The fire was gone. The unity was gone. Their belief was gone. Meanwhile, the league was in damage control. Public backlash was brutal. Critics painted the NBA as chaotic and out of control. So in response, David Stern cracked down hard. Arena security was overhauled. Fan behavior rules were tightened. And that same season, the league introduced a new dress code to clean up its image, a move that sparked its own controversy.
That's what I'm talking about, David Stern. Terrible with the players, but great for business.
What happened that night in Detroit wasn't just a fight. It was a turning point. The Pacers fell apart, the league changed its identity, and the NBA would never be the same again. Despite that turnover, basketball provided countless uplifting narratives. LeBron James, now in his second year, dramatically elevated Cleveland's relevance, proving himself as a legitimate star. Carmelo Anthony continued his scoring brilliance out in Denver, while Dwayne Wade blossomed spectacularly under Shaq's mentorship in Miami. As the playoffs approached, the Eastern Conference revolved around Miami and Detroit. Shaq's Heat dominated through sheer force and Wade's relentless attacking style. Detroit relied on their proven championship formula. The conference seemed destined for a Miami-Detroit showdown. In the West, Phoenix's exhilarating style secured the best record with Steve Nash winning MVP honors, silencing critics who had questioned his offseason signing. The Suns' offense seemed unstoppable, yet San Antonio quietly built momentum behind Tim Duncan's steady leadership, Tony Parker's speed, and emerging Argentine star Manu Ginobili's creativity and passion. The playoffs delivered thrilling intensity immediately. Miami steamrolled their first 2 rounds, setting up the anticipated conference finals against Detroit. The Pistons faced tougher competition, including a grueling 7-game series with Indiana. They fought bravely despite being severely shorthanded after the early season brawl. The Eastern Conference Finals became an unforgettable clash of contrasting styles. Miami's star-driven power versus Detroit's relentless defensive unity created intense drama. The series reached a thrilling 7th game defined by heart and endurance. Despite Shaq's physical dominance and Wade's spectacular spectacular performances, Detroit's cohesive team play, discipline, and clutch shooting from Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton ultimately prevailed in a stunning Game 7 victory on Miami's home court. In the West, Phoenix's exhilarating playoff run captivated fans, yet their lack of defensive depth eventually became their Achilles heel. The Spurs, battle-tested and disciplined, methodically dismantled the Suns in the Western Conference Finals. Duncan's composure, Parker's relentless pace, and Ginobili's timely heroics propelled San Antonio to the finals. The NBA Finals set up a fascinating match.
And this is where I told y'all earlier. I know I spoiled it a little bit. We're gonna spoil it again, though, man. This is what we thought. I was like, man, come on, Detroit. Y'all gonna get this thing, man. We don't want to see that boring-ass team ball playing ass motherfucking shit from the Spurs. At least y'all give us some type of excitement, even though y'all still play team ball too at a little slow pace. And we got disappointed.
Defending champions Detroit versus San Antonio's quiet yet relentless pursuit of yet another title. Unlike previous finals, this series showcased elite defensive execution and intense physical play. The series evolved into a chess match. San Antonio took early control, led by Ginobili's dynamic playmaking and Duncan's reliable consistency. Yet, Detroit's resilience was remarkable, rallying to even the series and pushing it to a decisive Game 7. The ultimate finale became a gripping battle of wills. Every possession felt critical. Every basket earned through sweat, determination, and execution. In the end, San Antonio's poise made the difference. Not really. Rasheed leaving Robert Horry open for 3 in Game 6 is what actually did it. Still haunts me and all the other Pistons fans to this day. Tim Duncan's clutch plays, Manu Ginobili's creativity, and the Spurs' overall composure secured their 3rd championship in 7 years, reaffirming their place as a modern NBA's dynasty. Duncan captured his Finals MVP again, solidifying his legacy among basketball's all-time greats. Though the Pistons just fell short, they earned profound respect. The resilience, teamwork, and relentless effort proving their previous title was no accident. Ben Wallace, the heart and soul of Detroit's defense, earned his 3rd Defensive Player of the Year award, a fitting recognition for the league's best defender. Bobby Simmons, rising from obscurity with the Clippers, earned Most Improved Player. And Emeka Okafor's outstanding rookie campaign secured his Rookie of the Year award. Ben Gordon's explosive scoring off Chicago's bench won him the 6th Man of the Year. It wasn't simply San Antonio's championship triumph or Phoenix's thrilling offensive revolution. It was a year marked by dramatic stories and unforgettable battles that defined basketball at its very best. Then came the 2005-2006 NBA season. San Antonio was still viewed as one of the top teams in the league, and Detroit still stood strong in the East. But beneath the surface, powerful currents of change were reshaping the league.
D-Wade, Brian James.
Painful playoff defeat still burned fresh. Shaquille O'Neal and Dwayne Wade entered the season fiercely motivated to finish what they'd started.
Failure makes you hungry, makes you more determined, makes you want to do it again.
Pat Riley returned to coaching mid-season, replacing Stan Van Gundy in a surprising yet calculated
This was the year down in Miami.
Move, signaling Miami's all-in approach to winning immediately. They surrounded their 2 stars with battle-tested veterans like Antoine Walker, Gary Payne, and Jason Williams, determined that experience and grit would carry them to an elusive championship. Meanwhile, out in Los Angeles, they struggled to find a new identity around Kobe Bryant. Although the Lakers roster lacked star power and cohesion, Kobe elevated his game to staggering new heights. In January, he etched himself permanently into NBA history with an unbelievable 81-point explosion against the Toronto Raptors, a mesmerizing performance that still leaves me in awe. Phoenix remained the league.
Hey, look, man, look. Matter of fact, I don't even want to say it because then people gonna be like, man, bro, you really hating. Kobe took all them shots though. He took like majority of. I think he took 3/4 of the team's shots that night to get that 81. Like for real, he took like all the shots, bro. I gotta go pull his stat line up for that game, bro. That shit was crazy how many shots he took, and it solidified my thought that yes, he is a ball hog.
Darling, their explosive, free-flowing style even more captivating despite Amari Stoudemire missing nearly the entire year with a knee injury. Steve Nash was determined to prove his MVP season wasn't an anomaly, delivering yet another masterclass in playmaking, orchestrating the NBA's most thrilling offense and securing his 2nd straight MVP. And yet came some more storylines.
Should have went to Shaq.
Dallas transformed dramatically under Coach Avery Johnson's discipline's guidance, shedding their previous reputation as an all-offense, no-defense team. Johnson instilled toughness and balance. Dirk Nowitzki thrived under his demanding leadership, becoming a more complete, determined superstar. Positioning Dallas as serious contenders in the loaded Western Conference. Detroit, still resilient after their finals defeat, opened the season determined to reclaim their throne. Under new coach Flip Saunders, they delivered a dominating regular season performance. Billups' calm leadership, Hamilton's relentless scoring, and Ben Wallace's imposing defensive presence. But the narrative shifted dramatically when the playoffs arrived. The Eastern Conference once again revolved around Miami and Detroit. This time, the Pistons entered the conference finals heavily favored. Yet, it was Miami who seized the moment. Wade elevated his game spectacularly, attacking relentlessly and
how many of y'all remember that fall 7 times stand up 8? How many of y'all remember that Converse campaign? That boy was doing it all year long. It was that time. Look, he bloomed. He was the first to bloom to that ultimate level out of everybody that came out of that draft with him and LeBron and Carmelo. He was the first to take that extra blooming. But some people bloomed a little later and they took it a little bit further. I ain't gonna hold you.
Defensive mastery. Miami stunned Detroit, winning the series convincingly in 6 games. Their veteran additions, criticized all season as past their prime, ended up delivering pivotal contributions.
My ball-headed D-Wade time. Ball-headed Wade.
Defined by intense battles. Phoenix continued defying expectations, pushing through despite Stoudemire's absence. But the true story unfolded between Dallas and their bitter rival, San Antonio, in one of the most gripping playoff series ever played. 7 brutal back-and-forth games captivated us. Clutch shots, fierce defensive battles, and unforgettable drama defined every moment. Ultimately, Dallas prevailed in a thrilling Game 7 overtime victory, signaling their transformation from perennial playoff disappointment to legitimate championship contenders. The 2006 NBA Finals matched Miami's veteran-led roster.
Bro, this was some nasty right here.
And discipline. Early in the series, Dallas
305, baby,
seizing a commanding 2-0 series lead. Analysts openly questioned Miami's toughness, suggesting that the series might already be over.
And the Mavericks have a commanded 2-0 lead as they totally embarrass the Heat.
Then came Game 3, a game that changed NBA history. Down double digits late, Dwayne Wade unleashed an unforgettable performance.
And look, Dwayne Wade, this pretty much is by him. This is pretty much him. Shaq, a little sprinkle of Shaq on top, but it was really much all Dwayne Wade. Zay Williams could not fucking shoot the ball no more, y'all. Antoine Walker could not shoot the ball no more. Udonis Haslem was our greedy guy. Get in there and do the tough shit. But, man, look, man, it was really, this was Wade coordination, bro. This was his coordination. Remember, y'all down 0-2. 0-2 in the finals.
Attacking relentlessly, scoring seemingly at will, sparking an epic comeback that altered the series entirely. Wade's
42, y'all see that?
Single-handedly dismantled Dallas' defense game after game. He averaged a staggering number of points and constantly pressured the Mavericks defenders, showcasing a level of finals brilliance rarely seen in NBA history. Miami's veterans provided critical support. Shaq's physical presence remained impactful, and role players like Payne and Walker made decisive plays in crucial moments. Miami completed the improbable comeback, winning 4 straight games to secure their first ever NBA championship. Dwayne Wade deservedly earned Finals MVP. His legendary Finals performance permanently etched.
That boy right there, bro, he was on top of the world after that right there, man. I felt that title right there because I was rooting for that dude, man. I was like, man, look, I saw what you did at Marquette, and you almost got it in March Madness, bro. You almost. I know I can see you doing it in NBA. When he finally got that shit, bro, I was like, told you. I was like, told you. That's what I'm talking about.
The Mavericks left.
I don't really like what he be doing nowadays, man. I don't know if that man buys some shit. I don't know what the fuck he on.
Feeling robbed by controversial officiating decisions throughout the finals, sparking outrage and fueling their determination to return and seek redemption. For Dirk,
hey, look at all that shit right there. That boy right with everybody.
Once again, his quest to prove doubters wrong became even more personal. During all this, new NBA stars
CP3
dazzled in New Orleans, claiming Rookie of the Year. Ben Wallace continued his defensive dominance, earning his 4th Defensive Player of the Year award. Meanwhile, Boris Diaw's remarkable evolution with Phoenix secured him Most Improved Player. Mike Miller also captured the 6th Man of the Year, providing Memphis a consistent
Mike Miller
off the bench. As the confetti fell in Miami and Wade celebrated his legendary performance, questions swirled around the NBA landscape. Could Miami repeat their unlikely triumph? Could Dallas respond to their painful final?
We was hoping.
Could Detroit reclaim their Eastern dominance? Or would
well, yeah, we was hoping, but LeBron was getting ready to get it going down there in Cleveland, even though their team sucked, but that boy was about to take a leap now. It's his time to take a leap.
Emerging stars like LeBron James finally fulfilled their championship potential. The finals had just ended with Dwayne Wade's legendary takeover and Miami's first championship. But instead of setting the league up for a new era, it sent everyone scrambling. Every contender asked the same question. How do we stop that? In the offseason, a few teams retooled. Some doubled down and some unraveled completely. The Lakers were spiraling. Kobe Bryant had...
I'll tell y'all how they did end up stopping it. Made sure Shaq ate all the food that he wanted to eat and had sex and drank all the beer and liquor that he wanted to. Because that was the reason.
Carried a broken roster as far as he could. In frustration, he publicly called out the front office and demanded better talent around him. In Dallas, the pain of blowing the finals burned deep. Mark Cuban didn't tear the team.
Oh, and don't forget, he also demanded a trade, too. Let's not even bullshit. Kobe demanded a trade just like Michael Jordan did.
Apart. Instead, he ran it back, betting that Dirk Nowitzki and a full season of revenge-fueled dominance would be enough. On paper, it looked like the right decision. And Detroit had its own problems. Ben Wallace, the defensive soul of the Pistons, left for Chicago in free agency. It was the first crack in the foundation of a team that had built its identity on toughness, discipline, and cohesion. Losing Wallace to a rival hurt badly, not just on the court, but in the locker room. Meanwhile, the Spurs were quiet. Too quiet. They made no splashy moves, no headlines. But if you'd been watching long enough, you knew better than to ignore them. The draft brought in promise, but not much immediate impact. Andre Bargnani became the first European player taken with the #1 pick. LaMarcus Aldridge and Brandon Roy ended up in Portland, with Roy making an instant impression as one of the most polished guards to enter the league in years. Rajon Rondo and Kyle Lowry arrived too.
Y'all, this was not a really good draft. I'm going to be honest with y'all. This was not a really good draft. Nowhere near compared to that Wade draft and Wade and LeBron draft. Nowhere near compared to that Chris Paul draft. This actually right here was a really bad draft. Adam Morrison, they told me that he didn't even take showers. He didn't believe in showering with his nasty ass.
Though they wouldn't shine until much later on. And then there was Adam Morrison, drafted 3rd overall to Charlotte, a pick that aged like milk by the end of the year. Elsewhere in the league, a major shift was happening at the league office. Commissioner David Stern pushed hard for image control, continuing to enforce the dress code, penalizing taunting, and doubling down on technical fouls. The league was becoming more polished, more global.
Read that shit. We're going to read that shit. We're going to read what it said because, no bullshit. David Stern was on some demon time, bruh. He was doing something that his ancestors would have loved him for. Watch this.
Like milk by the end of the year. Elsewhere in the league, a major shift was happening at the league office. Commissioner David Stern pushed.
Say in another image-conscious decision, Stern installed a dress code before the 2005 and 2006 season, outlawing sleeveless shirts, do-rags, chains, among other items commonly associated with hip-hop culture at the time. The people that are building your league, he targeted them, his players, mainly because he ain't like AI, but he didn't like black culture. He's like, hell no. Y'all gonna come in here just like us white boys. Y'all ain't coming in here showing no swag and none of that. We can't do it, and we don't like it because you do. You can. We ain't doing that. And look, he came under fire for that shit. The policy came under fire as a restriction of player freedom at best, outright racism at worst. If they really want to make a problem, Stern said, then via Sports Business Daily, they're going to have to make a decision about how they want to spend their adult life in terms of playing in the NBA or not. Man was threatening their jobs over a chain. Think about this, y'all. Over a chain, over some sleeveless shirts, over a do-rag. Picture that. Not touching kids, robbing people, pointing guns at people and shit. Nah, for wearing shit. Not swastikas and none of that shit. You know, we see that all the time. Confederate flags and shit. Not none of that. Not for wearing a fucking do-rag. Think about that shit, y'all. Yeah, he got criticized highly for that shit.
Hard for image control, continuing to enforce the dress code, penalizing taunting, and doubling down on technical fouls. The league was becoming more polished, more global, more corporate. Some players embraced it, and others pushed back. When the season tipped off, all eyes were on Miami, but they stumbled out of the gate. Jack got hurt. Wade couldn't carry the full load on his own. Pat Riley left the bench midseason due to hip and knee issues. The defending champs looked old, tired, and completely out of sync. By playoff time, they limped in and got swept by Chicago in the first round. No fight, no answers. In the East, one team quietly rose to the top, the Detroit Pistons. Even without Ben Wallace, they posted the best record in the conference behind Billups, Hamilton, and the emergence of Tayshaun Prince as a legit two-way threat. Yet behind them was a team with something to prove and a player who was about to change the narrative.
Get out of my way.
LeBron James wasn't just evolving, he was erupting. The Cleveland Cavaliers finished with 50 wins, but it wasn't the record that mattered. It was the momentum. LeBron was now fully in control of the franchise. His athleticism, vision, and scoring had caught up to each other, and the playoffs confirmed it. The Cavs ran through Washington and New Jersey, setting up a rematch with Detroit in the conference finals. And then came Game 5, LeBron's coronation. He scored Cleveland's final 20.
That boy, for people that say, with all them years that Skip said this boy can't close, listen to what this man about to say LeBron did. Because I watched it and I'm like, bro, this dude is on. Dude, I'm sorry. Miami, we ain't got it. Watch what he's about to say LeBron did. And he still got criticized for not being a dominant player, not being a closer. Listen to what he just did.
Setting up a rematch with Detroit in the conference finals. And then came Game 5. LeBron's coronation. He scored Cleveland's final 25 points. He also hit the game winner.
Hold up. What'd he do?
Cleveland's final 25 points. He also hit the game winner in double overtime. He made
their last 25 points and hit the game winner. He ain't no closer. No, that's what these analysts would get us to believe. That's what they want us to believe, y'all. Come on, man. Get the hell out of here. Last 25 fucking points and the game winner. Man, please.
Rashid, Prince, Rip, and Chauncey look like JV defenders. It was one of the greatest individual playoff performances in NBA history. And after almost 20 years, I still wake up in a cold sweat from this game. Cleveland finished the job in Game 6. The King was headed to his first NBA Finals. Out west, Dallas stormed through the regular season, getting 67 wins. Dirk was dominant and consistent all year. MVP worthy. But in the playoffs, things unraveled quickly. They drew the Golden State Warriors in round 1. Nobody thought much of it until Game 1. And then Game 2. By the time Baron Davis and Steven Jackson were lighting up Oracle Arena, the We Believe Warriors, coached by Don Nelson, torched Dallas with small ball, chaos, and fearless energy. Dirk disappeared. Dallas collapsed, and Golden State pulled off one of the biggest first-round upsets in history, finishing it in Game 6 in front of a crowd that felt more like a riot. San Antonio, meanwhile, did what San Antonio does, win quietly. They beat Denver, they beat Phoenix in a second-round war, and then they beat Utah in the conference finals. No flash, just substance. Then came the finals. LeBron versus the Spurs. On paper, it looked like a moment of destiny, but it played out more like a masterclass. The Spurs smothered LeBron. Bruce Bowen hounded him. Duncan anchored the defense. Parker carved up the Cavs with speed and precision. LeBron had no help. Larry Hughes, useless. Drew Gooden, lost. The Cavs were outclassed, outgunned, and out of time. San Antonio completed the sweep. Their 4th title in...
And they hold that above that young boy head. They hold that above that young, I ain't gonna say young boy, that young man's head. They hold that over his head. He got swept by the Spurs. This Spurs team, remember y'all, how many years they been together right now? Because he been going through the whole era of this time right now. How long was that team together compared to this useless ass LeBron James Cleveland team where he carried them boys all the way to the fucking finals? The man had to score 25 straight points. They last final 25 straight points just to get him somewhere, and had to hit the game winner. He got criticized for losing to this veteran Spurs team, y'all. Think about the criticism that he gets compared to other players. They get a pass. They get a pass for all the shit they go through. This boy over here putting in that work at a young age, still getting criticized.
9 years. And Tony Parker finally walked away with his first ever finals MVP. But nobody saw them as the story. All the conversation was about LeBron and what he did, what he lacked, and how close he was to making that leap. As the Spurs celebrated yet another ring, the rest of the league was already bracing for what came next. Kobe was seething, Boston was plotting something big, and a generational talent named Kevin Durant was about to walk into the draft. The 2007 offseason didn't just shake the NBA. It rewired its entire structure. Boston, long removed from its glory days, had just come off a 24-win nightmare. The team missed out on Greg Oden and Kevin Durant in the draft lottery. Hope was fading fast. But then came a blitz of moves that flipped the league on its head. The Celtics sent 5th overall pick used on Jeff Green to Seattle for sharpshooter Ray Allen. That alone turned heads. But weeks later, Danny Ainge gutted the rest of the roster in a blockbuster trade for Kevin Garnett, sending Al Jefferson, Gerald Green, and several others to
Trying to build a super team. But they criticized LeBron and what they did down there in Miami when they did it before he did.
Minnesota. Now, Boston had a core of Paul Pierce, Garnett, and Allen, all hungry, all still elite, and all desperate to win. At the same time, the draft delivered the league's next generation. Portland selected Greg Oden with a #1 pick, a dominant, physically imposing center out of Ohio State. But it was Kevin Durant, picked 2nd by Seattle, who became the immediate star. Durant averaged over 20 points per game his rookie year, a smooth scorer with unteachable instincts. He ended up winning Rookie of the Year effortlessly, giving the Sonics a new face to rally around. But unfortunately for them, it was too late. Ownership battles and broken arena promises made it clear Seattle's NBA days were numbered. The rest of the NBA teams were scrambling to keep pace. The Lakers made the season's most impactful trade in February, sending Kwame Brown, Javaris Crittington, and draft picks to Memphis for Pau Gasol.
Finally got Kobe what he needed to win a chip.
It wasn't just a trade, it was a revival. Kobe Bryant finally had a front court star again. And for the first time since Shaq's departure, the Lakers looked dangerous again. Phoenix made a splash of their own, sending Sean Marion to Miami for Shaquille O'Neal. It was a gamble, trading speed and spacing for size and experience. Miami, on the other end, was falling apart. Wade was in and out with injuries, the roster was aging fast, and the champs from 2006 finished with the worst record in the NBA. The Bulls collapsed under pressure. They had been a trendy pick to rise in the East, but internal friction and coaching drama saw them plummet. Coach Scott Skiles was fired on Christmas Eve. Chicago never recovered. The league office kept pushing for image reform. Technicals were called more aggressively, the dress code was getting even more strict, and Stern's NBA was growing more corporate by the month. That didn't stop the fans from tuning in, especially with new stars like Durant rising and legends like Kobe rewriting their legacy. Once the season started, Boston made it clear this was not a slow build. They were coming for the title immediately. The Boston Celtics won 66 games. Garnett anchored the defense, Pierce killed teams in isolation, Ray Allen stretched the floor. But it wasn't just the big three. Rajon Rondo matured quickly. Kendrick Perkins gave them the toughness in the paint. James Posey and PJ Brown made key plays when it mattered. This team...
No. We're going to speak on that Rajon Rondo because Rajon Rondo was what made that whole engine go. The Heat, look, for a player that they said could not shoot, Rajon Rondo made that team go and saved them many a times. And you're going to hear his name mentioned multiple times after this, y'all.
It wasn't hype. They were real. In the West, the competition was unreal. It took 50 wins just to make the playoffs. Denver won 50 games and they were the 8th seed. Golden State won 48 and missed the playoffs entirely. Chris Paul and the New Orleans Hornets emerged as a powerhouse. Paul became an MVP candidate. David West was an all-star. Tyson Chandler protected the rim. Peja Stojakovic hit clutch shots. The Hornets won 56 games and finished second out west. But the top seed belonged to none other than the Lakers. Kobe embraced the leadership role like never before. With Gasol and Odom supporting, he finally had a real shot again. He averaged 28 points per game and carried LA to 57 wins. He also locked up his first and only regular season MVP.
You've helped mold it into
One. I know it feels like I'm coming at Kobe, y'all, but y'all keep saying he's the greatest of all time. One MVP. One league regular season MVP. One. I'm going to just leave it at that.
a championship contender, and when we thought you couldn't get any better, you did.
The playoffs were a storm. In the East, Boston didn't cruise. They were tested very early. The Atlanta Hawks pushed them to 7 games in round 1. Then LeBron and the Cavaliers took them to 7 again. Boston survived both, but it was clear this was not going to be easy. In the West, Lakers caught fire. They beat Denver in 4, then took down Utah in 6. Then they met the Spurs in the conference finals. San Antonio had beaten New Orleans in a grueling 7-game series, but they had nothing left in the tank. Kobe closed the door in 5, and the Lakers were heading back to the finals for the first time since 2004. In the East Finals, Boston finally found rhythm, but Detroit was still tough. Billups, Hamilton, Prince, and Sheed were all still elite. Unfortunately for Detroit, Boston's chemistry overwhelmed them. Garnett found his groove, Pierce hit dagger after dagger, and Rondo took over the tempo. Boston won the series in 6 games, and for the first time in nearly 2 decades, the Celtics were going back to the finals. This also marked 6 years in a row for the Detroit Pistons to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Unfortunately for them, that streak ended here. The 2008 NBA Finals.
Wasn't enough, y'all.
Versus the Lakers. It was old school. It was bitter. It was personal. Game 1 went to Boston behind Garnett's relentless energy and Pierce's scoring. Game 2 was yet another grind. Leon Poe turned into a folk hero with a breakout performance. Boston went up 2-0. LA ended up responding in Game 3 at home with a win. But in Game 4, something iconic happened. The Celtics erased a 24-point deficit, the largest comeback in finals history at the time, and they stunned the Lakers on their own floor. That win broke the Lakers back. Boston closed them out in 6 with a blowout win at the Garden. Pierce won finals MVP. Garnett got his ring. Ray Allen redeemed himself. The Celtics completed one of the greatest one-year turnarounds in NBA history, and yet they somehow say that LeBron started super teams, right?
Thank you for saying it, bro. I might cover some more of your videos. Thank you for kindly calling that out. Thank you. They say that LeBron did it all the time, and it be coming from some of these motherfuckers on the team. Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce be saying, yeah, he started his super team. What did Kevin Garnett get drafted to your team, bro? Did Ray Allen get drafted to your team, bro? Like, shut up, boy. Like, man, come on, man. At least somebody else called it out. Shout out to Uncut, man. That was the weakest fucking shouting shit to win in the finals. Hold on, what am I doing there, bro? I gotta do it.
Brother, what's that?
What the fuck was that, nigga?
Moving on, the NBA didn't feel the same anymore. Boston had reclaimed its throne, but across the league, you could feel it. That crown wasn't going to sit still for long.
Hell no.
James brought everyone back. Garnett, Pierce, Allen. Same swagger, same system, but something was different. The hunger was still there, but the energy wasn't.
Technical difficulties. They trying to come for you, boy. Let me slide off for a second. They trying to come for you, boy. We got to get this thing right, because we almost to the end of this shit, man. That boy cooking right now, y'all. He cooking right now.
Focused and pissed off. They remembered every confetti drop, every celebration on their floor, every doubt thrown their way. Kobe led them like a man on a mission, not to prove himself as a player, but to erase any question about his ability to win without Shaq. This wasn't about validation. It was about vengeance. But just as LA roared back, someone else was forming a storm on the other side of the country. LeBron James wasn't waiting his turn anymore. For 5 years, he'd been growing, adjusting, taking hits, and carrying teams. But now it was different. His body was carved from stone. His mind was sharpened, and his team had finally given him weapons. Well, compared to before. The Cavaliers played with spacing, with effort, with rhythm. but it all orbited around LeBron James. Every possession, every decision, every outcome. This was the year that he took control of the league by force. Cleveland tore through the season. The Cavaliers didn't just win, they overwhelmed everyone. Their defense strangled opponents. Their pace crushed the rhythm of games. And LeBron played like a man, not chasing the MVP, but demanding it. Down south in Orlando, Dwight Howard stood in the middle of something special. He wasn't just a big man, he was the blueprint. A shot blocker who
it's that Dwight Howard year.
Altered game plans. A rebounder who dominated space. But what made Orlando dangerous wasn't just him. It was the artillery around him. Hedo Turkoglu, Rashard Lewis, Jameer Nelson, and JJ Redick, all locked and all loaded. The Magic played from deep and punished slow rotations. They were ahead of the curve, and nobody saw them coming. And in Chicago, a new chapter began. Derrick Rose, the quiet storm, gave the Bulls a pulse. You couldn't stay in front of him, you couldn't predict him, and by the time the playoffs rolled around, he was already a problem. This postseason felt like a heavyweight bracket. Boston and Chicago opened with one of the wildest first-round series ever. 7 games, 4 overtimes, multiple buzzer beaters. No Garnett, no excuses, and somehow both teams walked away changed. Orlando slugged their way past Philly, then stunned Boston. They took the champs out with confidence. There was no fear. Dwight Howard controlled the paint. Their shooters spaced the floor so wide, it broke Boston's defense open. The Magic were no fluke. They belonged.
We thought we had seen our new Shaq. We thought we had seen our new version of Shaq, y'all. And Dwight did a good job.
The other side, the Lakers handled their business. They met the Rockets in round 2, and even without Yao, the Rockets stayed in hell. Ron Artest barked.
No, this ain't the Stevie one. Is it the Stevie?
Past defenders like a blur.
Is it the T-Mac one? I can't remember.
And then they outlasted Denver in the conference finals, a battle of size, strength, and raw energy. Carmelo went toe-to-toe with Kobe. Nene and Kenyon Martin battled in the paint, but Kobe had something more. Something cold in his veins, something that never flinched. That set the stage. The league wanted Kobe and LeBron. The ads were ready, the narratives were written, but basketball doesn't care about scripts.
Bro, we really did, y'all. Well, look, we prayed for that finals. We wanted the Kobe LeBron finals, y'all. They never gave it to us. Shout out to Mr. Alyssa. He said 90s, nothing like the Jordan era. Well, look, that's the argument right now, Mr. Alyssa. That's the argument right now. And I got somebody shaping he made a good argument for the 2000s now. But I hope you voted.
East, it was the Cavs versus Magic in the Eastern Conference Finals. LeBron played like a machine. He hit a buzzer beater that froze time.
Gets it to LeBron for 3 for the win. Yes!
Game winners, but he can't hit game winning shots. He can't close.
Unfortunately for Cleveland, Orlando had depth. The chemistry, the floor spacing, and Dwight was a mountain in the paint. Cleveland just couldn't close out on the shooters. They couldn't stop the rolls. They couldn't win. LeBron walked off the floor after game 6. No handshake, no jersey swap, just silence. His dream of the NBA Finals were gone. And now the Lakers had one job. They were about rewriting a legacy that had been questioned for years. Ever since Shaquille O'Neal left Los Angeles, Kobe Bryant's greatness had lived in quotation marks. He had the numbers, he had the highlights, but every time his name came up in legacy, there was a pause. A reminder that he's never won on his own. Every year that passed without a title felt louder. Every playoff loss added fuel to the fire. Kobe heard it all. And this season,
now look, y'all, they're going to say that he won on his own, but remember, they're going to say something about Paul Gasol. Remember that, because y'all remember they traded for him a little while ago.
He made sure he never had to hear that again. The opponent was the Orlando Magic, but the Magic were not ready for what was coming. From the opening tip of game 1, Kobe Bryant played like a man possessed. He dictated everything. The tempo, the flow, the emotion of the series. When Orlando doubled him, he dissected them. When they rotated late, he punished them. His footwork was precise. His jumper was merciless. Every possession felt personal. This wasn't just about basketball anymore. This was about control, about narrative, about proving that the player who once shared the spotlight was more than capable of owning it alone. Game 2 went to overtime. Rashard Lewis and Hedo Turkoglu hit big shots. Dwight dominated the glass, but again, Kobe was the difference. He didn't just force shots, he orchestrated. He moved the ball, drew attention, and trusted his teammates to finish the job. And they did. The Lakers won again. In game 3, the Magic answered back with the best shooting performance in finals history. They barely missed. The series ended up shifting to Orlando, and for a moment, there was real tension. Could the Magic actually flip this? Spoiler alert, Kobe didn't let them. In game 4, he gave the performance that broke their spirit. He scored early, often, and without conscience. But it was the pass at the end that said more. With the game on the line, instead of forcing a fadeaway, Kobe found a wide open Derek Fisher at the
Celebrated for that. LeBron passed the ball at the end of a game, criticized for it. Kobe got celebrated for that, y'all. Come on now. Let's call out the double standards.
Top of the arc. Fisher drilled it. Then he hit another dagger in the extra frame to seal it. Kobe had trusted his teammates, and they were.
Do they say that Derek Fisher saved Kobe? Do they say that? But they damn sure like to run their motherfucking mouths and say that goddamn Kyrie saved LeBron. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Talk about the hate, y'all. Let's talk about the hate for real. Cause I be on it. I was a Dwayne Wade guy. Y'all done heard him go through this whole fucking video talking about who I picked in that draft and shit. I was behind Wade. But I gotta be honest, man. You cannot keep criticizing somebody for shit that you praise other people for. You criticize me for this, but you praise him for doing the exact same damn thing. It don't make no sense, bro. There's a lot of hate in this world, and people need to get it out their heart. They need to get it out their goddamn heart, bro. Mr. List even said Jordan passed to Steve Kerr and Kukoc, and they praised them for it. But because LeBron challenges their reality of being the greatest player, and they want to keep Jordan up on that shit, they ain't gonna never fucking criticize none of them for it. They just gonna criticize him for it. When you can see they same shit, bro. It's shit crazy, man.
Ordered that trust with a 3-1 series.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Game 5 was the final act. The Magic came out swinging, desperate to extend the series, but the Lakers stayed calm. Pau Gasol owned the interior. Lamar Odom spaced the floor and attacked mismatches. Trevor Ariza played like a star in his own role. And then there was Kobe, controlling the game with the same fire he had walked in with back in October. There was no panic, no hesitation, just execution. When the final buzzer sounded, Kobe dropped to his knees. The confetti fell again. There was no debate and no Shaq in sight. Kobe Bryant was at the mountaintop. This was his ring, his redemption, his proof. The 2000s were a grind. Defense mattered, toughness mattered, rings weren't handed out, they were clawed from the dirt. This was the dead ball era, where scoring was scarce, but the greatness was never in doubt. You didn't just watch the game, you felt it. And if that decade taught us anything, it's that legends aren't made in open space. They're made when the air gets tight. Call it ugly, call it old school, but don't ever call it soft. If you guys want me to break down another decade.
Now look, y'all, we might have to come back and break down another decade, y'all. We might have to break down another decade. I might have to throw the 90s up there because I know a lot of people love the 90s. They love the 90s and they love to crown that shit like it's the end all be all. Give my oldest, man. Give my oldest up in here. They be crowning that shit like it's the golden era of basketball. And some people will say right now, at least let me check the votes, man. Let's see what y'all voted on tonight. We had a few of y'all vote in. And overall, as of right now, the 80s got 0%. Zero. Nobody voted for the 80s. So I guess F Magic and F Larry and everybody else that came during that time. Coming in next to last place is the era that we got going on right now. The 2010s, I should have put the 2010s on there instead of right now. Because 2010s was pretty good too. Yeah, the 2010s was really, really good, to be honest with you. But right now is getting the 2020s. The 2020s got 8%, y'all. And number one, because the other one is number two, the 2000 got 69% of the vote. So a lot of y'all believe and agree that the 2000s was a better era, at least as of right now, at least from what you had to pick from. And we got 23% that rooted for the 90s. So I'm guessing Mr. Lissa, you over there on that 90 side. I know Lena over there on that 90 side. But bro, them 2000s, these 2000s, what man, dude, a lot of people, a lot of the legends came out of this shit right here, bro. You can just name all the Hall of Famers. Honestly, I might need to do a list of naming all the Hall of Famers that came out of the 90s or came out of the 2000s and see who has more. Because nigga, think about this, man, you had Melo, Wade, LeBron, Kobe. Even Michael Jordan played in this time, so we can snatch him up. He can get null and voided. Just like LeBron to get null and voided for all the other eras. Bro, we had a lot of people. Dirk, Tony, Timmy, Rasheed, Ben, Chauncey, Tayshaun, bro. All these played. KG. Man, even Brandon Roy played in this era, even though, we can't put him up there because, injuries. Derrick Rose was in this bitch, even though he got stunned because of injuries. Bro, we had so many people that came out in the 2000s, man. I understand that people love the 90s, but I'm like, dude, the 90s was Michael Jordan era. Like, for real, you want to say it. And that's what they want to say. And you want to hype it up because of one guy. Bro, look at all these players. Shaq, all these players, the white around your lips, nigga. We had a lot of motherfucking players that came out in the 2000s. Let's see, Miss Liz said 2000 was a golden era, man. Look, it was something, man. It was something. See, Miss Jackson said Kobe Bryant, greatest player of all time, versatile in every area. See, I'm glad you got here late because you ain't get to hear what I said about him earlier. I know some people would have took that shit as some hate. But nah, man, look, I wanted to do a video like this for the sports show, and we're going to do a lot more of these leading up to the season because, you know, we about to get into the NFL. I'm not covering no World Cup, soccer, or none of that baseball shit. Can't do it, can't watch it. Fucking, I don't care when he came in. He dominated in the 2000s. I'm fucking with you, man. I was fucking with you, Mr. Listen. But I'm going to try to do some more of these type of videos, y'all. I'm going to try to do some more of these because there's some people on YouTube that need shout outs that be doing some really good breakdowns. And honestly, it's really interesting because a lot of people didn't grow up during this time and actually see these people play. They really just saw a lot of fucking highlights and they ordained people just off of highlights. You got to actually watch some of these players play, man. You got to actually watch someone play. And I ain't saying you got to go to the arena, but you need to watch a game and watch how they play in a game, not just, the top 10. You remember NBA TV used to do the top 10? NBA.com, you do top 10 all the time? I think they still do it now. But it ain't nothing like, and shout out to Ahmad Rashad. For all of y'all know about Ahmad Rashad, because a lot of people don't know nothing about that. We don't have that player media connection like it used to be no more. And we have more media now than we did back then. But that Ahmad Rashad show, bruh, it was golden, man. You really got to feel like you met the players and really got to know what the fuck was going on in the NBA. Now it's just all Twitter and fucking ESPN from time to time, Fox Sports and shit. Man, nobody care about that. Man, we need another Ahmad Rashad. He ain't had no kid. We need to get his kid in the media, man. Get him out here doing this shit, man. Bring back that old nostalgic shit. But look, man, we came to the end. The next video we gonna do, man, honestly, I'm really thinking about. And y'all tell me, I'll put a poll up. And see if y'all digging this shit. But who in the NBA right now is the most compatible player to LeBron? Like, if this LeBron, his style right here, scoring, his strength, his size, his speed, all this, who is the player that resembles him the most? Because I ran across a video where they broke it down. So I wanna see if y'all want that video. And honestly, I'm gonna ask y'all a question after I get the votes. And see, I'm gonna put a few players up there and see who y'all pick, who y'all think might resemble his game the most. But look, that's just for another story. That's for next week. We're gonna work on that. But look, man, for everybody that tune in, whether you watch on Let's Talk with JVJ, whether you watch on J Talk Sports, whether you watch over on Facebook, and make sure y'all sub and follow on all those. Links and descriptions are down below. Links are in the description. Make sure y'all check that out. But make sure y'all hit that like, that subscribe, that share, turn the notice on, and make sure y'all click all so y'all get all this shit, man. We drop shorts multiple times a day to keep you going, make you laugh, and get your day started. And then we come with these live streams and try to bring that heat. But look, man, it was fun. It was great. But your boy got things to do. And I'm gonna get the fuck out of here and catch y'all in the next one. Hold on. I gotta switch this end video. I gotta switch it because we gonna go out to the basketball shit. We're gonna go out to the basketball one, man. Appreciate y'all. Holla at y'all. Stay safe, and we'll catch y'all on the next show. As always, man.
That's if they really find something.
They say I'm a big dog. I make all my niggas better. I feel like I'm Chris Paul. I serve all the purest cocaine. Don't need no fentanyl. He faking this persona for the bitches. Call him Rick Ross. While I fuck on your bitch right by the door. I told her get lost. I see cash up in my sleep like Trader Visionary. I keep sticks up on my side. Got more than the military. Got up in that pussy, leave it creamy, Ben and Jerry's. Take off like a jet, I'm feeling like I'm Jason Terry. These niggas hate it, but these bitches love the way I'm shining though. I might get 100 years if the police find a dope. Screaming for my baby mama, cause I found a finer hoe.